2027 presidency, Northern leaders dump Tinubu, eye alternatives as replacement. Two names disclosed. I remember that over the weekend they were struggling to get someone that would replace Tinubu in 2027, and it was a challenge. So, and the Northern politicians, got divided among themselves on this issue, and they were somehow in dilemma. So now they have seen two names. Let's see who those names belongs to. Reports making the rounds on Sunday, October 27, have it that top Northern leaders are in a dilemma to get Bola Tinubu's replacement for the 2027 presidential election. Okay, so sources hinted that the political leaders are faced with a complex decision as they consider potential candidates for Nigeria's next president. So according to the sources, economic hardship, mounting youth discontent, and a sense of unfulfilled expectation for President Bola Tinubu's administration are influencing this dilemma. Can you imagine? So the thing now is that, they are getting out of that dilemma. That is what I see here. They are gradually getting out of that dilemma. Okay? So concerns linger over the large-scale protest during the hashtag #EndBadGovernance movement, which had seen a significant surge in youth-led demonstrations in the region, sparking fears among Northern leaders of a possible repeat scenario. And so what? These not. So you take a Northerner will come and take over. But if the Northern takes over, would they be better? Because all these people, they have never served the interests of the people. It's their own interest that they are serving. Only God will help us. So although the 2027 general election remained a few years away, Sunday Tribune gathered that Northern elders are proactively scouting for credible candidates to potentially challenge the current leadership. Some prominent politicians across the Northwest have been meeting and discussing who might be capable of giving President Tinubu a formidable contest in the presidential race, an anonymous source shared with Sunday Tribune. So several aides to Northern governors also confirmed these discussions, noting that the 2027 election is a source of concern for many top Northern politicians, including their principals. So these politicians are reportedly weighing the risk of opposing President Tinubu after their involvement in this 2023 victory. Can you imagine? So another challenge for Northern leaders is selecting a candidate who would be broadly accepted in the North while accounting for likely opposition tactics, such as emphasizing zoning and Southern interests. So the Northern leaders believe the best approach is to back a prominent Southern politician. Exactly, a source explained. Yet they worry about finding someone from the South who could match President Tinubu in personality and financial strength. Can you imagine? So though no formal decisions have been made, sources say a short list of candidates is emerging, including potential running mates. So a credible person from the Northwest is likely to be chosen as the running mate, one source noted, revealing that Dr. Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, former Kano State Governor, and Alhaji Aminu Tambuwal are among considered names. Okay, Kwankwaso and Tambuwal. So for now, Northern politicians are still in search of a reputable candidate for 2027. Many, however, are unlikely to support the current administration again, the source concluded, indicating that political maneuvering in the North is far from settled. So it's now the understanding that it's not to get a Northern president because the South must complete their 8 years. So it's to get a Southern president and get a formidable Northern person to be the running mate, and that Northern person is obviously who will potentially be the president in 2020 after 2027. That is 2031. Can you imagine? So with youth unemployment, inflation, and insecurity affecting the Northern region disproportionately, leaders fear that endorsing an changed leadership could alter or could alienate the younger generation. That's already happening now. So what is happening now is that they are now sitting and they are making sense. Abi, they are now sitting and they are making sense. So now, rather than looking for a northern president in 2027, which they know is not going to work because the South must complete 8 years. So the next thing now is to look for a formidable southern president and uh, a northern running mate to run with him, so that at 2031 the running mate will take over and then the power will come back to the north again. But supporting this kind of government in 2027 is obviously going to be do more harm than good to the people. But already, with the way Tinubu has purchased the judiciary, the security agencies, and the police and everybody, I don't know, and the INEC itself in his pocket, the judiciary, I don't know what is going to happen differently, because if Tinubu could walk his way through when he was not even a president, now that he's a president and has 4 years to perfect things for himself, I wonder how he can be ousted. But all the same, let the Hausa continue to plot their way. Okay. Then there are a bit of, we've got some comments here. Let me see what somebody is saying. And somebody is saying, hey, use Obi if you want to succeed. And they might decide to do it. Use Obi, and already Kwankwaso has said that he's ready to be running mate to Obi, knowing fully well that after Obi in 2031, the South would have finished that tenure, and then he will come in again. So if Nigeria really mean well for Nigeria to collect the mess or correct the mess of Tinubu, they should bring Obi. Would they agree? They will not agree, because the Hausa does not want the Igbo to be the president. So say, who are those faceless northern leaders who doesn't know whether they will witness the year 2027? What do you mean? Because you think by 2027 everybody would have finished, Abi. Everybody for don't buy. It doesn't work that way. Whatever Tinubu is doing, I'm telling you, his days are numbered, because his government is even worse than Buhari one, and people cannot continue dying, and you expect everybody to be silent. As obviously they want to change somebody repairing the economy they mostly damaged. Okay, repaying the huge debt they mostly incurred. It is evident their candidate will do worse in his bid to please them. This one, you're not sure of what you're saying. What is Tinubu doing? What is he repaying? Abi is busy. They are busy sharing Nigerian money to themselves. As obviously you are far from truth. Which repaying of which debt? Exactly. It's not repaying anything. Instead, this present government added to the debt, and you are here saying paying debt. It doesn't know what it's saying. How can you say Tinubu is paying debt? Or it's creating more? Which repayment? It's not repaying anything. This regime has borrowed more than the previous regime under a year and a half now. Do you really know the debt profile of Nigeria before he came in? What debt profile? What debt profile? Tell us what the debt profile is. Borrowing money shows that our economy cannot match the social responsibility. Kudos to the government for generating alternative revenue to cushion the effect of the debt servicing. So which alternative revenue do we have apart from the oil? Which alternative revenue? Some people just create some kind of narrative that does not exist. So please, let's share this country. That is just the best way around it. A very good and welcome idea. Share the country, let everybody go his own way. So it's a childish journalism. You said 2 names were mentioned, but not one was disclosed in your report. He disclosed now. He disclosed the Kwankwaso and disclosed the Tambuwal from the north. So if you have to go, just go and read it again. Go and read it again so that you know what is happening there. Some say this article is sponsored by whom? One can guess the likely sponsorship, especially with one's experience of such write-offs. Objectivity is the cardinal principle, not one's personal opinion. So tell us what your opinion is. Let's know. Sultana will have to do the next 4 years before any northern president can come in. Of course, and that is what they're talking about, considering to have a southerner to take over, and then with a northern running mate. Okay, with a northern running mate. So thank you for listening. Let's have a comment as the North is still shopping for who to oust Tinubu by 2027.